Good. I thought today was one of our best days. Really proud of the way the offense kind of bounced back, got put in some tough situations, backed up, and thought the offensive line, running backs had a really good period and showed some progress from the scrimmage the other day. So that was positive.
What do you want to see in the scrimmage tomorrow?
Yeah, the biggest thing is I want to see improvement from our first scrimmage. We just had a lot of mental errors, and those are things we got to correct. So we took a lot of time, really corrected those and coached those. And so, you want to be able to see a team that's not making the same mistakes they made in the first scrimmage, and because it takes away a little bit of your effectiveness, everybody executing. Just one or two guys not doing the right thing takes away from the whole play. So really just being able to execute and also play faster. Those are the biggest things we're looking for tomorrow.
Saw Mike Orange out there. Do you take it easy on him at all tomorrow, or is he 100%?
Yeah, Mike's had a good fall camp, and we had a little scare there in the scrimmage, and fortunately we got a good report from the doctors, and he's going to be fine. We'll talk to Coach Sweeney, but he won't do a whole lot tomorrow, if anything. We'll get him back Monday full speed, and really, gives the younger guys an opportunity to see what they can do in that stage. We know what Mike can do, and he's had a good fall camp. But really, I want to find out about the younger guys and really put some pressure on them before we throw them out there in a game.
How are Ray and Deion coming as far as their knowledge?
Yeah, I'm really pleased. Ray is one of those rare freshmen that comes in and the game's slow for him. Usually for the freshmen, the game's really fast and it takes them a little while. But he's one of those guys that the game's just really slow. He feels like he's still out there in high school playing, and is not. He looks very natural out there, and I think that I like his attention to detail, being able to pick up on the offense. If he keeps progressing, he's a guy that's have a chance to play early. And Deion's showing flashes. I think the position that Deion's in is a little bit more difficult because you've got all the install that's kind of hitting you, and then you get in the boundary and you got Mackenzie Alexander and Cordray Tankersley right there in your face, so you don't have a whole lot of time to think. But I've seen enough out of him to know he's got a chance to be really special. But want to see some more progress from him here in the next scrimmage.
In the team drills and the scrimmage you've had so far, does this offense have the look as improving upon last year's goal line and short yardage?
Yeah, that's something that's been a big focus for us offensively in our off-season study, even going into spring ball and then this summer. Something we've really focused on and talked to the guys about. I think we feel very comfortable that we should be able to move the ball, but really being able to, in those situations, be able to execute. And, part of it will be, being able to there's different situations when it's 4th and 1 and everybody in the stands knows what you're getting ready to do, being able to run when you need to. And then there's also situations being able to run your base offense in short yardage situations. And really it comes down, that's when the assignments and execution is more critical than any time because you got more guys in the box. But I've been pleased with what we've seen so far, but still got a lot. The defense is throwing a lot of things at you. When you're getting ready for the season, getting ready for each game, usually the team you're getting ready to play has one or two defenses that they play in that short yardage situation. Right now our defense is playing a lot of different looks. But I've been pleased with the progress we've made there so far, and I feel like the offensive line's done a really good job.
Has any running back distinguished himself on 4th and 1 or 3rd and goal?
Yeah, I think Wayne Gallman's done a good job. C.J. Fuller is a guy that continues to show himself in that situation. He's really got a knack for short yardage. He's just got to protect the football, and that's the biggest thing that's kind of holding him up right now. But I'd say those two are probably the two that have executed the best in there. And Tyshawn Dye, he showed something today in a tight situation coming off the goal line of really putting his head down and getting those extra few yards. So I think all those guys have had their moments. But, I think our goal is for all of those guys to be able to execute in that situation and not just have one or two guys, but to be able to have more than one guy that can do it.
So, staying on the subject of short yardage, the tight ends, do you have anyone that's going to fill the role, say like a Darrell Smith had 2 years ago? A guy that can come in there and really just open up that gap he has to.
Well, I think one good thing about the tight end group is we got a little bit of everything in there. You don't want all of the same body type in there. You got a guy like Jordan Leggett, who's long, athletic, can really run. And a guy that's really shown up is Garrett Williams. He's a guy that's kind of gained everybody's attention real quick in special teams, and then also in short yardage situation of really hunting guys out, knocking them back. And he's a guy that we're going to continue to look at and see if that's a role that he can have for us this year. And over the next 10 days, that'll probably help say a lot. And then Cannon Smith's done a good job there as well.
Are you getting closer to figuring out the guys that are going to play behind Mike and Artavis and Sharon?
Yeah, I think I think we kind of know who those 7 or 8 guys are. The biggest thing right now is cross training them. We had Artavis playing in the slot somewhere he's never played before. He went out today the first time, and the very first rep had a really nice route and catch. And having Sharon playing multiple positions, Hopper's a guy that can play multiple positions, and then also Hunter Renfro. And so biggest thing right now is using the time that we have to cross-train those guys and being able to find their best position. But I think we kind of know which 7 or 8 guys are going to be in the mix, and really just trying to take the back of that group and give them a lot of reps and a lot of opportunities, and still allow the first group to get some work, but really challenging that next group to see what they can do right now.
Essentially the same question of the offensive line. How critical or how urgent is it to get down to, say, 5, 6, 7 guys?
Yeah, that's what fall camp's all about. We're spending a lot of time kind of looking at that and finding the right matchups. But I know Coach Caldwell's been really pleased what he's seen so far. I mean, for a freshman offensive lineman, it's not like a wide receiver that's just going to go out there and make a bunch of plays early day one, and without a doubt there's those guys have to get ran over a few times, and I think that happened a little bit last week. But then we've seen some rebounding, and I thought in the scrimmage they did some good things, and then out here today we'll go back and watch the video, but I saw that some of those young guys knocking guys back. But yeah, we'll figure out. It's very similar to the wideout group. I think we kind of know who those probably 8 guys are. We're really finding out who's the second team left tackle if something happens to Mitch, or who would be, do you move your right tackle to left and bring another tackle in there on the right side. So kind of finding the right match. But we've been moving guys around inside and outside, and we still got plenty of time before, I think as a week after school starts, we kind of get within 10 days of the first game. I think that's when we'll really kind of lock everything in and go with our reps with that group.
2 weeks in, is there anybody that's really surprised you or unexpectedly caught your attention?
That's a good question. See, it's hard to surprise us because we're watching every detail every day, and you kind of know. I would probably say Ray McLeod, and that kind of maybe would surprise some people because he already had a lot of expectations, but he's shown some things that you don't typically see out of a freshman, even a talented guy, being able to go out there and just his mental mindset, that the stage is not too big. That's probably been a pleasant surprise. He's a little bit further ahead than really where I expected him. Really being a running back and maybe a Wildcat quarterback in high school, thought he'd have to develop his hands a little bit more, but he's further along than maybe we expected, so that's a good thing.
Which of the tight ends would you say is doing a good job blocking right now? And with Dion and Ray, how are they doing with their downfield blocking?
Yeah, I mean, tight ends, I'd say if you ask Coach Pierman, he would say Garrett Williams has been the guy that's kind of stood out in that group, and Coach Sweeney has shown he's not afraid to play a freshman. He's going to play the best guys, and obviously we still got 2 more weeks before we have to make those decisions, but he's kind of a guy I think that stood out. And then I think that Jordan Leggett has improved in that area, and more maybe on his closer to the line, on the line blocking, and then really being able to kick guys out. I think he's done a good job there. And then as far as downfield blocking, I think Ray put on a clinic down here in our W drill today, really got after some guys. I think he won all 4 of his reps, so he's probably done the best job. And I think Dion's still trying to figure out who's hitting him, where it's coming from. But Ray, he's got a little bit lower center of gravity, so he can get out underneath guys and drive, and so I've been real pleased with him. All right, we're good.